Welcome back. Return of the M.A.C, episode 96. M.A.C, Moss, Andrew, Carl.
What's poppin'?
What's good, gentlemen?
We back.
Hey. I'm feeling good this morning.
Yeah,
I'm feeling this is about to be a good pod. So, buckle your seatbelts.
Yeah,
coming.
I think it's been a solid week. Long week, but it's been a solid week. I ain't complaining much this week. So
Definitely been a good week. Definitely been a good week.
Any particular reason it's been a good week?
No, I mean, shit just been flowing good. Like, no bad days, really. Well, I had one little blip, but everything was pretty cool.
That's what's up.
The weather, man, helps out for me. This is my time.
It probably is.
It's fucking, I don't do the astrology and shit, but it's Taurus season. You feel me?
Taurus season?
It's Taurus season. It's coming up.
Oh, Taurus.
Yeah,
like
Taurus.
I thought you were saying Taurus.
No, Taurus.
I was like, I guess people going on
traveling.
That too. We had Taurus and Taurus. You know what I'm saying?
Right, both happening.
Yeah. So I feel like my powers come in around this time.
Oh, you being on horoscopes?
No, I'm not. Not at all. I don't read that shit. I'll look into it. But
I wouldn't be his friend if he was.
But you know, when you look into like your signs and shit, like my personality identify like it's similar to what they say a Taurus would be.
You know why?
Why?
Because everybody's sign is somewhat similar to whatever their sign is supposed to be. Because they're all general as fuck.
I mean, not really.
Some of the things be making sense, like certain things they say about you. Like,
I it's pretty spot on for me. I think so, and I have no I lean into it the way I am. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna change a lot of that shit. Like that's the way I am. I'm sticking with it. The stubbornness is there for sure.
That's really what you're talking about.
I lean into that shit. It is what it is.
I like the personality test stuff because even those are not going to be like super accurate, but it's more specific to you. I can't buy into the idea that
it's kind of the same thing, though.
Everybody born in a general time frame of the year is supposed to be a similar personality. That's crazy.
It's deep, but it has some similarities there. Sometimes
but isn't that shit like thousands of year old, like fucking mythology? Like, isn't it?
It's been around for a while.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, at some point, do you think it has to be some truth to it somewhere, or maybe it's just?
Personally, no, I really don't. I mean, I don't care about it regardless. Like I like to, I like to make fun of it. This has been something I've adopted as I'm gonna be a hater of, so it's fun to just kill people for it. But no, like the legitimate question I have is, how could everybody born in February be similar in how they operate? It just makes no sense to me. That's too arbitrary for me.
Yeah, right.
I mean, if you take it that deep, I mean, it's just like, how do people figure out months and days and times and everything, how everything's created? It's kind of wild.
Well, that is just a random structure that we agreed upon doing. Yeah. No doubt. I agree with you there. I'm just saying.
Everybody, like the randomness of all people, you can't just like lump them into this one category.
Not based off of when they were born.
Such and such was born at this time. So I get that. But I mean, it's certain details, certain little things that I take from it that I think are true or hold true for, I would say 75, 80% of the time. It's people might have similar personality traits, but then again, it could be, the same for somebody born in February and somebody born in September. They could have similar personality traits as well. So, I mean, it's just something that kind of already
because it's not so specific to certain people, but you can see how you can have some of those qualities in what it's talking about.
The only thing I don't really agree with, or I hate the most when it comes to that, like when people really believe in that shit, like the fucking Bible, when they say like, a Cancer is not supposed to date a fucking Virgo. Like, if you're making life decisions based on your horoscope and astrology and shit, you fucking up. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the shit that I'm like, all right, you taking it way too far. Now, if you just want to like identify with like birthstones and all of that shit. That's cool. Whatever.
So that actually might be the one reason that I keep an opportunity open in my mind that maybe it is real. Because I had one ex-girlfriend that said she was a fire sign and I was a water sign or some shit. And it did not work. So maybe I should have listened.
I'm saying. Sometimes it be hitting. It's like,
I thought opposites attract though.
I don't know. I can't remember. I might be messing it up.
Opposites do attract, but can they work together for a long period of time is a different story.
At a certain point, it's going to pay.
At some point, it's going to get to, you know what I'm saying?
That shit ain't, I mean, I guess so. So that fire and water.
Depends on what you read.
I didn't know they were categorized that way as well.
Something to the effect of the group of signs, Taurus are.
I get that.
Are considered to be a water sign or some shit like that. I don't know. I'm talking way outside
Taurus
of
sound
my
like
realm.
it would be like Earth. Is it like, are they taking the elements like Earth, Wind, and Fire type shit?
Probably. I think of the car as soon as I hear Taurus because I had a Taurus.
I fucking hate those.
On vacation.
Yeah, right. Yeah, for sure.
Good shit. Well, that's our astrology breakdown.
All right, for the day.
Stay tuned next week.
Make sure you look up your horoscope this morning. It's good to guide your day. Make sure that's very important that you do those things.
I suppose so. I didn't have anything particular happen this week either. So.
Y'all ever got your account hacked? Like your bank account?
Hell yeah, man. Somebody got me last year for...
Oh, yeah, you did say something about that.
It's like 300 and something or $400 and something dollars.
Something got me this week.
They got
my little blip. That was your blip? Yeah.
Hold on. Before you tell the story, I'm proud of you, bro.
What?
If somebody hacking your account is a blip, respect to you, bro.
I mean, that's because you get your shit back. That's because you get your shit back.
I got a good bank that when they handled that shit immediately, so I was on it or whatever. But it was just it was early in the morning, actually. Early. I was
it's
probably like 7:30.
They get you early.
Something like that.
Scammers.
Got an email from my bank saying your account is hitting low or might be overdraft. I'm like, what? Like, I ain't spent nothing. What's going on? When check my account, some charge from I think it's called Aerolus Wireless or some shit like that. I'm like, I'm a US Cellular. The fuck is this wireless company charging me $200? I'm like, all right, call my junk, They handled it pretty quick. Shout out to Wells Fargo. Got my money back the next day.
Wells Fargo,
damn, that's fast.
Yeah, it's pretty quick.
My shit took
it might have been like a day and a half.
It took me like 3 to 5.
But it was pretty fast.
It took me like 3 to 5 days to get my money back in my account.
Yeah, they just reversed the charge. Like immediately, they just reversed the charge.
Oh yeah, no,
the investigation or whatever.
Yeah, that shit took a while. They spent my shit of somebody got some hella groceries off my shit. I don't know if they was throwing a cookout or something. They got like $500 worth of groceries.
Try to use it up before you cancel it.
Yeah, North Carolina.
Groceries, huh?
Yeah. I mean, hey.
Yes, that's my little blue.
I fed a family.
Take care of.
I fed a family. Yeah, I feel good about that, and I got my money back. So it's like it's cool.
Like EBT.
Huh?
Like EBT.
Yeah, something like that.
Put them up like quick for the
CBT, the call.
CBT.
Yeah, right.
I didn't get my actual card hacked, but I had gone to Guatemala. I landed in Guatemala, woke up the next day, and there was a $6,000 charge on my credit card.
Damn.
So I immediately looked into it. Saw it was Comcast that had the
I remember that.
So long and the short of the story is I, of course, canceled the card immediately, thinking I got somebody had stolen the card. It happened to just be some kind of glitch in Comcast system where they charged me for everything that you could possibly buy or something to that effect.
Damn.
So they got the money.
With the M.A.C. that many channels.
It all got taken care of, and I was not out any money, but I was in Guatemala when this happened. So when I came back and tried to get a rental car from DC, I didn't have a card to give them because it had been canceled.
Right.
So we had to work. I don't even remember how we worked it out. I ended up getting them to give me the car though, and made it back home. So
that's wild.
When it comes to money, somebody else that you don't even know taking money, that messed my day up quickly, and it was not okay until it was resolved.
Oh, definitely. That's just 6 racks, goddamn.
Yeah.
Like that's a different story.
Yeah, that's a lot. I mean, but it's like, what is Comcast doing? Like, what kind of internet? Like, my Wi-Fi about to follow me everywhere the fuck I go.
Maybe somebody's paying for a lot of people's accounts or something. Maybe I don't know.
What kind of service is that? International calls to I better be able to dial to Jupiter and get a reception if I'm paying $6,000. Like, come on, bro.
It's a lot.
Yeah,
Too much.
I need every fucking satellite you got to be honed in on my shit.
My shit better never go out.
Yeah, right. Seriously, I need top of the line everywhere I go type service.
Yeah, it's not worth it.
Yeah, I don't think so either. Oh,
well, what do you want to start with today? We got a bunch of sports stuff. We got music. Those are the main two things. Which one?
Let's jump into sports.
All right.
What we got?
What's left for Steph?
Oh, what's left?
What's left for Steph?
Wait. Are you saying what's left of Steph or what's left for Steph?
What's left for him to do in the league? I mean,
are you presenting this as in he's accomplished everything that he could and should?
Kinda. I mean, he's dominating. I'm trying to pull up his last 8 games or so that he's played. Let me see.
So I know he had an 8-game streak of over 30 points per game. And then he definitely had a 3-game streak where he hit 29 threes. Most ever in NBA.
Here's his last, I don't know, however many games this is. 42 points, 53 points, 38, 32, 41, 37, 36, and 32.
The boy's going bananas.
He's going fucking nuts out here.
He is insane.
I mean, what's left for Steph to do to say, like, I mean, he's locked in as a Hall of Fame. He's locked in as the greatest shooter of all time. I mean, what's left? Do we feel like Steph needs to accomplish something else in his career?
I'm like, where's this question coming from? Are people asking this?
I mean, this is why. I mean, that's what I'm thinking. I mean, this dude is still snapping.
He's done it all.
I mean, to some people, like for you in the beginning of the season, Steph has to prove that he can carry a team.
Oh, for me personally, I think he does need to show that he can carry a team, because that was my only knock when people used to say with him and Russell with me, because it's like we've seen Russell make his team a playoff team every single season, and they're a bad team. So it's like, can Steph do that without having this built team around him, or whatever it is? And he's showing that he can do that.
All right, that was my next question.
Yeah, he's proven he can do that. They're in a ninth spot right now, right outside the playoffs. They have a good chance of getting in. They can get to the play-in or whatever. Which I didn't know they was doing that again this year, too.
Yeah, they're doing a play-in this year.
But they messed it up.
What happened?
Because I want to get to that, too.
With the play-in?
Yeah. Let's come back to the play-in, though. Let's stick stuff, because I did have some stuff. Because there's been some comments from Dallas. Luka and Cuban and them are not happy about the play-in, and I agree with them.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I don't know the whole situation, why they doing it this year, but we're getting it. But Steph, he has nothing to prove. He's showing me personally, because that's my only knock. He's done it all. He's won championships, been MVP, been considered the best shooter of all time. He is what he is. He has nothing to prove. So,
you know what? And I'm going to take it a step further than the best shooter of all time.
Of course you are.
I'm going to have to.
How is it possible? He's best shooter to ever touch a ball? The person to ever touch a ball, like what we talking
including
about.
Soccer players, baseball players.
He's the best point guard of all time.
Do you even consider him a point guard?
See, I know that question was gonna come up because people always like take that knock on him, but it's just
not a knock. It's not a knock because
back in the day. He's not the traditional sense of like facilitate.
That would be
though he
CP3.
Right. He would be
traditional point guard. Every team he gets on, he makes them better.
Right.
That's what a point guard's job is.
But I say the best point guard of all time is like, who else are you gonna pick? If you building a team of all time great players, are you gonna pick somebody over Steph Curry?
So I mean,
probably not. That would be the best pick, of course.
It depends on what you're looking for, because it comes back to the exact same thing that y'all were just saying. Like, if I'm trying to build a team and I have other scorers, then a pass-first point guard makes way more sense.
But at the same time, it's like we know Steph can pass.
In this league, you need a scoring point guard.
But yeah, right. He has great court vision.
Y'all said all time though. We can't go just off of like in this league today.
No, yeah, I'm saying all time. I'm saying all time. We know that he can pass and that he will give the ball up to somebody who can score. I mean, he's played with great players that are around him. It's not like he's a ball hog type of guy.
For sure.
So, like I said, who else would I wouldn't pick anybody else if we're lining up and we're building a team. Steph would always be the first point guard that I pick up. It's just like LeBron would always be the first I guess he's a point forward, but like 4 that you would pick up, 3 or 4 that you would pick up. So
I don't think you'll find too many people that think that that's like a terrible decision. I personally prefer the pass first traditional point guard. So if I was starting a team and just picking any point guard in history, I probably wouldn't start with him.
Who would you pick? Magic?
I might take him as a 2, or I would take him as a guard on my team. But if I'm just picking my own team, I would rather have a pass first point guard. Magic would be a great one. Jason Kidd would be a great one. I mean,
Steve Nash.
Stockton played mostly before my time, but obviously he was great at being a forward general.
The league was different when Steve Nash was playing. He probably could have been a Steph Curry because he had the ability to score like that. There's
never been anybody who can.
Yeah, of course, you've never seen this as Curry, but if it was more presence putting on a point guard to be the offensive guy on the team, Steve Nash could give you 30 a game. Like, he was capable of doing that. But he was always a pass first point guard, so he wasn't looking to score 30 a game.
Look, in all honesty, if I'm picking my own team, even if we were just picking from current players or players from within the last 15 years, I prefer Dame as a point guard.
Really?
I'm not saying that he's a better player. I think it's possible that you could argue that further, but I would prefer Dame as a point guard. I would.
That's wild. That's a wild take to me. I think Dame's a great player, but again, I mean, time and time again, we show Steph put him over his lap and spank that boy. I'm just saying.
We've seen Steph do that when he had the teams that he had.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that. There's no knock on Steph, but if I'm starting a team brand new,
whooping everybody's ass.
I mean, then just one-on-one, I would prefer
one-on-one? Steph got the handle for one-on-one, man. One-on-one.
I'm not saying in a game of one-on-one.
Oh, okay.
He ain't got like Kyrie. Every time they play, Kyrie gives him the business.
I mean, Kyrie's a great player, too.
Every time he plays him, it's like he takes his game up another level every time.
Well, none of these guys are stopping each other.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
None of them are stopping each other. There's not a game that Dame is not shutting down Steph and vice versa.
But yeah, Kyrie, so neither one of them are stopping each other. We agree on that. But it's just like, who's the most unstoppable? And it's always going to, the answer to me is always going to be Steph.
How can you measure that?
Because Steph's shown, it's just pretty much shown.
I don't think you can.
That's what I'm saying.
But I mean, it's going to be personal preference. I don't have any problem with you saying, like, I don't think that's a nuts take.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't. I think I think you're splitting atoms when you're getting this high up on the top.
Yeah, we're talking about the 1% of players.
I mean, you can't go wrong. If you take Dame, if you take CP3, if you take Steph as your first pick, I get it. But
I say that you go wrong if you don't. If you take anybody but Steph, you go wrong. That's my personal opinion.
I know it is.
Yeah, I couldn't turn my back.
That's why LeBron picked him and Dame be on his team.
Yeah, like I said,
let me get both of them.
Like the best backcourt that you could probably, the best shooting backcourt.
They went crazy.
That you could come up with besides him and Clay, of course. But yeah.
Look, now that we're here, I mean, I'm just curious: would y'all take Joker or Embiid if you're still starting your team and you're getting to choose between
a lot of players like in the league today? I'm taking Jokic. You know me. I prefer.
I would too.
I prefer that kind of play. I mean,
I don't think there's anything that either. I think they both do pretty much the same things. To be honest with you, Jokic passes better and hasn't had the injury history.
Right.
So I'm gonna have to go with Embiid, and I've been not so good on Embiid in the past, but this season, bro, like his offensive package is crazy. He's all 3 levels. He's putting moves on people that's like, yo, you 7 foot moving like this, putting these moves on. It's like it's crazy, and he has an aggressive offensive player too. So it's like he kind of weighs on the defense every time he gets the ball. He changes the whole spectrum of the court. It's crazy.
To me, I just feel like Embiid is too like slow footed. I'm not a huge fan.
His moves are so good that it's not like he's slow though.
Right. I'm just saying, like, I think overall, like offensively, of course, he's a beast. He's just fucking 7 foot, and like you said, he has an offensive package. He can pretty much do everything.
And he's a better defensive player than Jokic too. That I do.
That's a good
rim defending.
That's a legitimate point.
As a big man, he's a better big man defender.
Right, big man defender. But I'm talking about like
the foot speed is
moving on the floor. Like
Jokic doesn't have that either.
Yeah,
probably not. He's a white guy.
They both look dumb slow every time they play.
Skilled centers. Yeah. They're just very skilled centers. They're not fast at all.
Right now, Jokic is at 26, 11, and 9. And Joel's 30, 11, and 3.
That's crazy.
I mean, they're both having insane years this year. I think the two of them are clearly at the top of the MVP race right now.
Definitely.
That's what I've seen.
Like, Embiid will probably take it.
And stuff.
MVP.
Jokic is favored right now, gambling wise.
I really don't know. What about Luka?
Jamal gonna hurt him.
I guess they're not winning enough games.
Yeah, both of these two are top 3 in their conference.
That's what I could change for the Nuggets going forward, though, right?
Yeah,
with, Jamal Murray going out.
It could, but I think it's going to elevate Jokic even more.
Possibly.
He's going to be asked to do more than he already was. Last night he had.
So he's going to take the ball up the court now?
I don't think he'll bring the ball up the court, but he runs their offense already.
True.
Last night he had, at one point, this was in the third quarter, he had 29, 16, and 7, and he had only played 26 minutes, and he was 10 for 12. Like, he's just one of the most efficient players in the league. Honestly,
he really is.
Michael Porter is the guy that needs to step up now.
Yeah, he's got to show it. Like, he's the guy that they drafted, or who he's supposed to be like. Yeah. He's supposed to be a KD type player. I mean, of course, that's like lofty to live up to. But that's what the comparisons were when he was coming out of the draft.
Size and style of play. I get it.
I've seen recently that somebody was saying that Julius Randle should get the most improved player of the year. But to me, I think he's always been this good. Well, not always, but he's been this good for like 3 years now.
This season is different.
He's been like but I'm saying he's like I said before the season started.
He's a top 5 big man this year.
I've always thought that though. I've always thought that though. Like,
but it proved it this year.
He's so skilled. Like, he just lost he's been always lost on bad rosters. The Lakers were terrible when they had him, but like his last two seasons with the Lakers, he was just so good all the way around. I'm like, man, why would you ever give this guy up? I didn't know why they let him go. And then I guess he played with the Pelicans for a season or two, and then and they were awful. And then now he's with the Knicks, and he's just continuously in a bad team in a bad market, so he doesn't get any exposure. But
Knicks are in 6th right now.
Yeah, Knicks got a solid team.
And they're a game out of 4th.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
They've won 5 in a row for the first time in
RJ
a bunch
Barrett
of years.
is coming into his own.
What is he doing? I haven't heard his name. I've seen the highlights.
He's been really quiet, right?
Yeah.
But he's really quiet.
Do you think the Knicks would have a bigger, since it's like New York,
they don't have,
Brooklyn gets all the shine.
Yeah, they don't have a star.
They don't have that star.
Randall, as good as he is,
he doesn't, right.
His game is not like...
He just have that draw.
Eye pop. Wow, that's weird that's the description we went with.
It was the hand motion.
His game is not eye-popping, so he doesn't get it. And then when you've got the other 3 guys over in Brooklyn, he's clearly the 4th star. Like, it's not even in a topic, even though his numbers are very high. Barrett's at 18, 5, and 3. Or 18, 6, and 3 a game.
That's great, though. You averaged 18 points second year.
Yeah, he's been consistent
this is the second year, right?
Yes.
I don't know.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yes, I think it is the second year.
It fucked you up because of that whole COVID thing.
That felt like 2 seasons.
Yeah, right. So, yeah, second year. I mean, that's great. I didn't know he was performing. If somebody would have asked me, I would have probably said he's a bust up until this point. But no, that's great. That's good numbers. But again, you don't see the Knicks get any exposure at all.
Brooklyn got all the star power.
Yeah, that's tough, man.
Randall went for 45 last night. He looked really, really good.
Yeah. I mean,
hooping.
Assists. Them left-handed finishes, man, are tough to deal with.
So ugly. I hate it.
It is what it is.
It's hard to guard.
Yeah, right. You can't guard it at a certain point. So you got to change up like your whole defensive mentality when it comes to that.
It's like fighting a left-handed boxer or something.
Yeah, I mean, of course, everybody in the NBA is like ambidextrous, but when your left hand is your strong hand, it's just different.
James Harden.
Yeah,
can't guard
it's different. Zion, but yeah, I mean, it's just different. It's hard to deal with. It's
it's weird. I never even think of him being a left a lefty, Zion, because you never see him shoot like that.
Dunk both hands.
Right, so it's you always doing layups. You're supposed to be able to lay up and dunk with both hands. Like,
yeah, I mean, generally though,
you don't necessarily see
generally you'll see him like
both hands.
He's gonna work back to his left,
right,
when he goes into the paint. A lot of the times, the jump hooks are coming off the left hand for sure.
Why did he cost him the game last night?
He fouled out, right?
Yeah, he got called for a foul on a jumper on Westbrook with 1 second left. It was a tie game.
That's tough.
He fouled out on that.
I didn't see that though.
It was super, super light. Like he barely touched him, but it was a clear elbow thing. It honestly was just bad luck at that. It was in overtime.
It sucked, man. I'm fine with saying that they should not be really as bad as they are with the level of talent that they have. I cannot figure it out why they are so bad.
It's bad team.
They're in every game. Or they have the lead and they was having that.
The Celtics was having that struggle too, but we starting to pull it together now, finishing games. It's a hard thing to do in these long seasons, especially if you come out strong, you stay in the games, and then pulling off them 4 quarters is a tough thing.
It's getting too late in the season to continuously have these things.
If you ain't turning it on by now, it's gonna be a problem.
You're done. You're not gonna make it.
Yeah,
you're not gonna make it. So I don't know. We'll have to see what happens.
It's a good road trip this week. Knocked off Denver, Portland, and the Lakers. Going back home.
It's a good run right there.
Yeah. We were finishing them games, man.
Yeah, I saw Jalen went off a few times.
Yeah.
Tatum went off one night, 50-something.
I like it. We just picked up Jabari Parker.
Yeah, I was going to say Duke kid. I can't remember his name. Yeah, so y'all let go of the guy that you traded Tice for.
Yeah, because he's ass.
To sign Parker, which
he was fucking ass.
That's wild.
Yeah, it just won't working out. He just looked like he just didn't fit. Fournier been hurt, so we still got to see what he going to do. He ain't really did much.
I didn't know that either.
He hurt. But we'll see what happens. We're looking good, getting wins. Move to the 5th spot now. East.
Well, look, the playoff seeding thing. So Dallas was, I don't want to say having a fit, but they had made comments. Luka said something about it being dumb to play 72 games throughout the year and then still have to play in the play-in tournament. And I thought he was just whining. And then Cuban backed him up on it. And then the more I looked into it, when I was watching the game last night. So you remember last year they did the little play-in piece where you could still get in, but they did it for those. It was the 9-10, 8-9-10,
right,
11, or something like that.
Yeah, and it was specifically because we missed that big chunk of games, though. So it's like it was unfair at that point to say that this team automatically belongs in there. Right. You didn't get the last stretch to really see who could have pushed in there and who could have fell off. So that made sense. But if we play in a full season,
well, check this out, because that's not the bad part. The bad part, what I just saw last night, is the tournament is a 4-team tournament for the play-in spot, and it's the 7, 8, 9, 10.
Oh, so
they're taking teams that are already in the playoffs. And then you've got to win. You've got to win 2 games to still get your
7th spot is kind of steep.
That's
not the
nuts.
7th spot. You earned that 7th spot. The 8th spot, maybe.
What's the amount of I feel like if I have a 5-game gap on somebody, you know what I'm saying?
Like, with that being said, the last 3 spots are within a game of each other. The 6th, 7th, and 8th spot are within a game of each other. I get that, but at
the same time, they all played the same amount of games, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I don't like them taking away spots from 2 teams that already earned it. And it was cool. Like, it's fun to have the extra excitement for some team that makes a run and gets in the 9th. But they don't deserve it.
And at the end of the day, it's like, why are we even doing the play-in spots for teams that are going to be out in the first round?
Exactly.
You know,
to the Sixers and whoever's at the top of the West by the time the season ends, they're going to get smacked.
Right. It's not going to matter as much. Yeah. I don't know. I do feel like it's a little bit of bullshit, but if they want to roll with players, they can't complain. You got to win those games regardless. So win and go home is just pretty much an early start to the playoffs. So whatever. Go ahead and don't complain about it. Just got to do it. Can't change it this season. Going to the next year and try to
out of that 7th spot.
Update that.
So they gonna keep it like this forever now?
I don't think there's been a determination on that, or I haven't heard it. So I don't know. Don't know the answer to that question yet.
We'll see.
So the last basketball thing that I had on the list here was Lamarcus Aldridge in the middle of the week. He had just gotten traded to Brooklyn a week or 2 ago.
Yeah.
Traded, signed, whatever. Joined the team. He had a physical? Is that how this came about?
I don't know. He's been playing.
He just said it happened in the game.
Yeah, he was
in the game and he felt it. Yeah.
So apparently he got looked into medically and has an irregular heartbeat or something
like
to
a
that
heart
effect.
murmur? Is that what they call it or some shit?
Yeah.
I think so. But he just retired. He got the news
fucking
and was
immediately.
like, I'm done. I mean, I knew he was at the end of his career anyway.
Yeah.
So I guess, like I said, I don't know much about that.
You forget how long he's been in the league because he was with Portland at first,
with
right?
Brandon Roy.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's how long he's been in the
league for 14 seasons, right?
Yeah.
That's a long ass time, and it's
while.
like I'm sitting here thinking this guy is relatively young, but it's like no, he's pretty much at the end of the road.
For a while.
He's at the end of the
when
road.
Dame got drafted. He played with Brandon Roy.
Looking back at his career,
he was a beast back then.
Looking back at his career, what kind of? I think he's like overall. I think he's a great player. I'm not sure if he's Hall of Fame.
Yeah, they've been talking about that. They've been calling him the mid-range king.
He a fundamental killer, man. And
he come from that Duncan tree.
Yeah, right.
Really
That's why I thought he was
really
a perfect fit for the Spurs when they got him. Is just because like, oh, this is the game that they play. Unfortunately, when he went to the Spurs, everything else started to crumble. It wasn't the same.
He went to the Spurs. It wasn't a Dame Dollar there.
Right. Well,
that's a Tim Duncan. He had Tony Parker. He needed a point guard.
Him and Kawhi never like meshed either. And then Kawhi had that whole thing going on, and he left. And then DeRozan just is not that caliber of player. He's a great player, but he's not
just a scorer.
Next level.
Yeah.
Do y'all consider him a Hall of Famer?
He should.
Aldridge.
He should. Yeah, he's had a long career.
Is a little different.
He's had a long career.
I was just about to say the same thing. I have a really hard time, to be honest with you, knowing if guys are Hall of Famers in NFL and NBA.
Just all personal, I think he should be.
Because it seems to be, I don't know. I don't know what the criteria is.
Right.
In baseball, there's like really significant milestones
that you must cross, right?
Home runs, wins. You don't have to, but there's like, once you do this, it's like, oh, that guy's a no doubt Hall of Fame.
No brainer, right?
So I have more stuff like that I'm familiar with, but
there's so many great basketball players, though, right? There's so many guys who put up numbers or who dominated for. I don't think he's ever been like a first team all-star, or well, maybe an all-star.
I think he was with Portland.
Yeah,
I won't say he was.
I know he's made all-star teams, but I'm not sure if he's been like first team on them at all.
I got you. As far as accolades are concerned, 7-time All-Star, 2-time NBA second team, 3-time NBA.
Right, that's why I'm an All NBA second team. I don't think he's ever made first team. 5
All NBA teams between second and third, none on first.
Right. I mean, but that's still
top 5 in the league.
Right. That's still pretty solid.
And you could be top 5 in the league, but like number 3 as a forward.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you'd still be second team on that. So yeah, I would imagine he probably is as long of a career as he's had, but I don't know. Hard to tell.
Yeah. I mean, it kind of sucks. Like I said, it was super sudden. I mean, do you think it takes? Do you think the Nets take a hit at all?
No.
For that?
Yeah. Why? In a sense that they were. I've been saying since they made the trade early in the season that towards the end of the year you would see them add some late veterans that would fill in the roster. I don't think this means that they're like not a contender anymore. But I think Aldridge was like a perfect fit of one of the old veterans that can hold it down and give them good depth. And now it's gone. And a lot of the other guys, the Drummonds and these other guys that have signed with the Lakers and other teams have already gone. So I don't know what the pool is that you're drawing from now. But ultimately, their only thing that they need to worry about is getting their big 3 ready to play for the playoffs. And if they have that, they should be in a good position.
Exactly. It seems like Aldridge ain't even sleep on that shit. He got the news and he sent the text immediately like, yeah, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and put in my 2 weeks.
I'm good.
I'm out of here. Like, damn, it's good. Whatever, man. That's cool. That's cool.
Speaking of retirements.
Right, since we talked about retirements.
Jules,
Foxborough forever.
Number 11. My boy Edelman called it quits, y'all.
You got to lead us off on this. How do you feel about this?
I mean...
Well, he felt the physical, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it came out that they did that purposely so he can just go ahead and put it retire. They knew he was going to retire. Like, it wasn't like he got forced into retirement because he failed the physical. They failed the physical because they knew he was going to hang it up.
Does that make sense? No, it don't make sense to me.
It doesn't make sense. I get what you're saying, but...
Because they had to cancel the contract, and that's the reason, that's the terms to cancel the contract.
But does the retirement cancel the contract?
No. they had to end his contract because he knew he was going to retire. So failing your physical means you have to end your contract if you can't physically be able to play.
But why can't he just retire?
I don't know. It's some dynamic situation.
Some technical reason or something, because otherwise
that just came out before the retirement was announced. So it seemed like that was the reason.
Like same day.
Yeah. It's all the same shit though, because it is the reason. I mean, he said his knee is not healthy enough to play.
Yeah.
So that's why he's retiring, and that's why he failed the physical. Regardless.
But yeah.
Same shit.
I ain't mad at him. He's obviously been injury-ridden for the last 2 or 3 seasons, playing with injuries, had knee injuries, leg injuries, all this shit. So it was time to call it quits. He couldn't do it no more.
Where does he fall in your Patriot fandom tier? Is he a top tier Patriot that you were?
Yeah, he's one of my top 5 favorite Patriots to play with us.
Understandably.
Yeah, for sure.
As he should be.
Yeah, definitely.
As he should be.
Got 3 rings with us. Wasn't supposed to be a receiver. He was a QB. Well, even though he wasn't like a passing QB or anything like that.
State. Yeah.
Came in, got drafted, and made shit happen as soon as he stepped on the field. I ain't mad at him. Been like that since day one.
I mean, it took a little bit for him to
I mean, they ain't throw him into a starting position.
I'm just saying. He ain't dominant.
He worked his way in the system and then became one of our starters, one of our best receivers.
The next white slot wide receiver for the Patriots.
So
They just keep him in the fold. I mean, that's pretty much it. But
I like Edelman. I always thought, obviously, he was a good player, but he was just a cool dude. He was like a likable guy. So as much as I hated the Patriots, he was not somebody that was at the top of my list of hated players.
I mean, I hated Edelman, but I hated him because he was good at what he did.
Yeah.
Third downs, 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5, Edelman's gonna catch the ball. And he's gonna catch it right at the sticks.
He's going to get open.
He's a tough dude. You gotta have you look for those traits in a slot wide receiver. It's what made him one of the best slot wide receivers in the NFL for 4 or 5 years.
And not scared to take a hit.
Right,
you gotta take hits. You coming in the middle.
You gotta be tough. You gotta be quick.
Yeah,
you gotta be quick, and you gotta be tough if you're gonna play in the slot. And you gotta kind of be savvy, because you don't have to be fast or anything, but you have to have
great
that
route runner.
Right. You have to have that savvy route runner type mentality. So or skill set.
Why are you using all the white code words?
Because he's not fast.
You gotta be savvy.
He's not fast.
Real good route runner.
Yeah, he's
a fuck out of here. Athlete too, huh?
He's a borderline good athlete, but I got a lot of respect for Edelman. I think it's fucked up that
no Hines Ward.
Definitely not a fucking Hines Ward, not even close.
All right.
That is not.
This is about Jules. This is about Jules.
Myself for even
why are you even doing this?
Come on, it's definitely not. That's not even fucking.
Just keep it on Jules. You were saying some good things. Go ahead.
He's a good player. He definitely had a great career. Certainly, absolutely, most definitely not a Hall of Famer. At all.
You just hating.
All right, so honestly, I don't remember what side of this I took when y'all have debated this the 100 times.
I think he was on. I think he was on the side that he's not as well.
I think I might be changing my mind.
Oh,
I think I might.
Why?
I don't really care. Like I said earlier, it seems all arbitrary to me. If he gets in, he gets in. If he doesn't, I don't care. But I think you can make a really strong case on the postseason numbers.
Let's just take out, because I know you're going to say the regular season numbers are this, that, and third. When you're a receiver that's been a part of a dynasty and you've helped win championships and been a Super Bowl MVP, that helps your thing of getting into the Hall of Fame. That helps a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it would.
And not to mention that he's the second best all time in postseason stats. That all helps a lot, though, being part of a dynasty.
Yeah, let's remember that.
And being an MVP.
Okay, but is Santonio Holmes a Hall of Famer?
No, he hasn't had the career Julian has.
He has more career yards and touchdowns.
He hasn't had the career that Julian has.
He's a Super Bowl MVP as well.
Okay.
He has more career yards and touchdowns.
Dynasty?
I don't know the numbers.
Oh, did he just win one off?
I'm just saying, he's a Super Bowl MVP. This is and he has more yards. So a lot of these things.
Minimize what I just said.
Julian has been one thing that he's better
3 rings and won the MVP in one of them and been part of a dynasty for years. Santonio had a one-off. We're not saying that categorizes you as a Hall of Famer because you had a one-off year.
All right, but so you can lead somebody in all all other statistical categories, because the Hall of Fame is really an individual. It's an individual award. You're not putting in the entire whoever was a part of the Patriots between that time when they were a dynasty. All of those players don't belong in the Hall of Fame.
No. You have to add his stats in the postseason.
Yeah, that's the only basis that I'm considering this off of.
Right,
it's postseason stat, but that's
postseason numbers.
That also is a team accolade.
Like I said, when you're part of a dynasty, that helps your matter of being a Hall of Famer.
He had the opportunities in order to establish those yards.
But you can say that about any receiver that was part of a dynasty with one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time and won multiple championships. They're going to be Hall of Famers. All of them are Hall of Famers.
They had the numbers to back it up.
True.
For over their career. Let's just keep the facts the facts. Julian Edelman has 0 Pro Bowls in his entire career. He's never been considered a top player in his position in his entire career. So you can't say like a Hall of Famer is for people who are like transcendent, who changed the game, who are like
not necessarily.
Yeah, it's for people who set the bar to another level. There's a lot of
Hall of Famers, bro. All of them want game changers, transcend the game.
Yeah, they all are guys who are next level. Name one who's not. Hines Ward is not in the Hall of Fame yet. He's been on the ballots, but has not received. He's a Super Bowl MVP. He has double the yards, like literally double the career yards, and 1,000 catches. Julian Edelman has 600 catches. He has like 400 more receptions.
Than him, for sure, yeah.
Double the yards and probably double the touchdowns that Julian Edelman does, and Hines Ward has gotten stiff on from the Hall of Fame for the last 2 or 3 years. So
we've seen the best of the best get stiff on too for whatever reason.
I'm personally saying Hines Ward is borderline Hall of Fame when it comes to wide receivers.
If I had to say today, I would probably say no. But I understand the postseason argument. It's not just like he had a good run or threw in the random MVP. You said he's the highest, right?
Second, behind Jerry Rice.
Behind Jerry Rice in all categories, pretty much. That's
he was a part of that dynasty, so he stayed in the playoffs too. So you benefit from that when you always in the playoffs.
I think
Jerry
that should be accountable.
But Jerry did it in the regular season as well. That's the difference.
Of course.
For sure.
And he was always renowned as the best. I'm not saying Edelman is
Jerry. I'm just saying you benefit from being in the playoffs a lot, getting all the yards.
I feel like if you want to be a Hall of Fame player, at some point you would have to be the best at what, like, somebody would have said that you're the best wide receiver in the game. To me, Wes Welker is more of a Hall of Famer than Julian Edelman ever was. And that's regardless of that Wes Welker did not win any championships. He has the career statistics to back it up.
I was surprised at how much more his regular season numbers were.
Yeah, Wes Welker was a monster.
I didn't really remember how good he was. So, yeah, I did look him up. As soon as you had said that in the chat, I looked it up and I was like, yeah, it's a lot more.
Yeah, right. I mean, he had like 3 seasons in a row with 100+ catches or some shit like that. So that's why, I mean, if Edelman makes it and Wes Welker doesn't, then the Hall of Fame is flawed. But I don't see the Hall of Fame putting him in there because I think the people who are in there would probably be disgusted by it.
Do you think he like 100% should be, or you're just saying that you think he should have a case? Well, I guess I'm trying to gauge where you're at. Are you 100%?
I don't think it's a sure shoe-in certified no.
Gotcha.
But I do think he should be offered the opportunity to be evaluated for it off his career.
I'm sure he will be evaluated.
Yeah, I think he should get in as well.
Okay.
I think he'll be evaluated. They should be looked at about it. He should get in.
Gotcha.
They ain't gonna be
They don't. But I think it should be in there.
They're gonna be like 6,000 yards. Not that much. I don't know.
Well, speaking of Hall of Fame and stuff and all this idea of the Hall of Fame is greatness. And generally speaking, these greats have had this insane drive to be the best. This week, there was a bunch of stories around Trevor Lawrence I believe it was a Sports Illustrated interview. And they kind of did like just a big profile of him as a player. And there was a few like comments that have been discussed a lot the last couple of days. I took screenshots of them. They're not that long. I'm gonna read them real quick. I guess this is from Trevor. He was quoted saying, "It's hard to explain because I want people to know that I'm passionate about what I do and it's really important to me. But I don't have the huge chip on my shoulder that everyone's out to get me and I'm trying to prove everybody wrong." That's one quote. Another one, he says, I think people mistake that for being a competitor. I think it's unhealthy to a certain extent, just always thinking that always thinking that you've got to prove somebody wrong. You've got to do more and you've got to be better. And then the last thing he said, it's not like I need this for my life to be okay. I want to do it because I want to be the best I can be. I want to maximize my potential. Who wouldn't want to? You kind of waste it if you don't.
Yeah, and then he had a coach that came out and said that he could walk away from the game today and he would be okay with it. And his dad said that he wouldn't something about like essentially like sell his soul or for a Super Bowl. He didn't say that specifically, but something along those lines.
So we kind of mixing up things together. Everything he described that he said he don't have, that's what a competitor has. So to say I don't have that, but I'm still a competitor, like off what though? Being competitive means you have a drive off something. You have to want something, to want to get something. Not saying that you're selling your soul to compete.
No.
Like,
what he's saying is that he doesn't have that chip on his shoulder. Like, he's not saying like he's looking at like, it's guys like Tom Brady who have that chip on his shoulder for being a 6th-round draft pick, for being overlooked. So he wants to prove every day that I'm this person. Trevor Lawrence is saying I have
nothing for that reason. So
right,
what's his chip then?
Trevor Lawrence is saying that he doesn't have anything to prove necessarily, but he's still trying to be the best of the best. He wants to compete, but he feels like he doesn't have anything to prove necessarily, I guess, is what he's saying. Or he's not holding himself to that kind of standard.
What I took from it is, to be honest with you, I think what he said is very similar to how I feel in regards to this conversation. When we've had talks and stuff about Michael Jordan and Brady, Jordan's a better example because it's so widely known about like the negative side of him and his competitive nature.
Right.
It's like everything had to be him winning or his life sucked.
Right.
And he it's incredible. And that's what made him the greatest basketball player we've ever seen. I don't think that that's healthy. And I think that if you talk to Jordan, there have probably been a lot of times during his life where he won and reached the pinnacle of sports. And I have serious doubts that he was like internally happy with where he was. It was just like, I did what I had to do to not be upset.
Right.
I don't think that that's a healthy way to live as a person. And I think that's what he was saying, is that football is not my everything. I'm not going to be like depressed and a piece of shit just because things don't go my way. I don't have that kind of chip on my shoulder.
I'll tell you one thing, though.
I think that's a reasonable reason for a team to be like kind of hesitant, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Because if you're looking for a player that you're expecting the number 1 overall draft pick to possibly be this transcendent figure that changes the game forever.
Because this is exactly what they killing Justin Fields about. The work ethic, the want to do it, and all this other shit that they've been saying. It's like, what?
Kind of a work ethic is different than the mindset that the chip on my shoulder, in my opinion. But I think he's right. I think he is right from a personal perspective. I think he has a healthy mindset.
But yeah, no doubt. But and look, just to like preface this, like, it's probably great that he has that mindset and he's going to the Jaguars, right? Because you're gonna need that shit.
It would be hell.
Right. But how can he have a chip on his shoulder if he's always been looked at as this godly like quarterback?
Right.
He's never been underrated in his life. So it's going to be hard to have that kind of feeling or mentality. When I
should have been 1-1. Oh, I was.
Right. I'm always
I should have been there last year.
But
I could have.
At the same time, it's like he's always been the best and not had that chip on his shoulder. I'm fine with that. I think that means he's
it's
driven.
A red flag for me.
I think he's driven on his own. Like, he still wants to compete. It's not like he went to Clemson and didn't achieve like the highest of goals there. I mean, he did. He went there and he was the best quarterback and one of the best quarterbacks in the nation. Won a national championship. I don't think that mentality. I'm sure he carried that same mentality with him the entire time when he was at Clemson. So I don't think it will be a difference in the NFL. It's just, can he play football or not? Like let's look at the truth about it. The rest of that stuff is arbitrary to me. I think it's just, it is what it is. It's different things that drive different players. You don't have to have one mentality. Everybody's mentality doesn't have to be adjacent to be a great player at what you do. It's everybody has different things that drives them. So
I guess we'll see how he feels once Aaron Donald come jumping over that line of scrimmage.
Maybe it's just his love for the game that drives him, though.
Let me make
he loves football, apparently.
Let me make a strange comparison that I think is this just popped in my head, but I think it's a really good comparison. I don't think what he is saying is all that different than stuff that Kyrie has said. It's the way that it's being said and the tone and stuffs may be different, but
I can see that. Right.
A lot of Kyrie's message has been that basketball is not all of my life.
Right.
There's other things that are more important to me, other things that I care about. I think that's kind of the same philosophy, and I think, like I said earlier, I think as a mindset wise, just on a personal level, that's more healthy than somebody that is.
How long Kyrie been in the league? It's been 10 years yet?
It's been a lot.
So he's been saying these sentiments as of late. Young Kyrie coming into the league was not of this, talking in this way when he was chasing the championship, when he was trying to prove himself, being rookie of the year. I'm sure he had that at one time, and maybe at this point in his career, he could be feeling that way. But a guy that's about to get drafted number 1 first pick saying like this is a different thing to me.
I understand that. That's a good point. To me, it's just philosophically, I agree with what they're saying. It's
a great headspace to be in, but do I want this guy to be the face of my franchise saying he's like, I ain't got no chip on my shoulder. I'm just coming here to do what I do. That's how I'm taking it. It's kind of like a red flag to me.
I think you're putting a little sauce on it, to be honest. But it is. We don't have to agree on it. I think it shows more maturity than I think it shows more maturity than anything else. Personal opinion.
Right. Honestly, I just think people try to evaluate these players so much.
It's that time.
They go back to
That's so annoying, bro.
Yeah, you gotta overanalyze everything.
It's crazy. Even with Justin Fields and shit, where they're breaking down this stupid shit maybe he's not the first person in, and you don't really fucking know this type of stuff.
Keep it up.
People just cut the film on what do you see. If you want to take the guy, take the guy. If you don't, then don't. But
he's going third.
Because shit like Justin
Fields is most certainly going third.
He's going third. This is all a bunch of bullshit.
You don't trade up. You don't trade up to draft Mac Jones.
No.
I'm sorry. You just don't do that.
Because nobody was going to take him. If you wanted Mac Jones, you could have just stayed at 12 and got him.
Right. That's what I feel about it.
Nobody was going to take him.
It's possible that somebody could have took him, but to me, it's just and of course we can get more into draft talks and shit because I'm bro.
Next week,
I'm fucking hype about the draft. You don't even know. I'm fucking next level hype.
It starts this coming week.
It's 2 weeks away. I think it's the draft starts on the 28th or something like that.
Oh, I thought it was 23rd. Okay, well, good. Yeah, next week we'll get on that.
Yeah, all these other quarterbacks, the top 4 is Lawrence, Zach Wilson, Justin Fields, and Trey Lance. Or is it Trevor Lance?
Trey Lance,
yeah. They all have these special traits. They can do so much. They can make plays, make things happen with their legs. They have incredible arm strength. The fuck does Mac Jones have? He's a pocket passer. You don't trade up.
The best offensive weapons in the country.
Right, that's what he had. That's what he had. So I was just
I hate that.
I'm looking at it you don't trade up to number 3 and risk all of your future on Mac Jones. I just don't see that. I mean, if they see something in him, cool, and he could turn out to be a very good player. But at the same time, to me, I'm just looking at all these other guys have these special traits that you will trade up to go and get, especially the ones that work in today's NFL of what you see of teams trying to do with their quarterbacks.
Dynamic QBs.
Just dynamic athletes at the position, along with being great throwers of the football. You don't trade up to number 3 to get a Mac Jones. So I think 1, 2, and 3 is definitely going to be. I think that what they tried to do is throw out a smoke screen so the Jets don't get hot on Fields or anything. They want them to keep hey, we're getting Mac Jones, and the Jets will be okay, give a fuck about Mac Jones. You know what I'm saying? So I think it was just kind of a smoke screen that they threw out there. It's definitely not somebody who's going to get taken.
The draft thing is an interesting process because it really doesn't do any benefit to the teams to say anything good about the players.
Yeah, of course not.
It does nothing beneficial to big up the players and talk about how good they are because somebody else is going to take them in front of you.
Right, yeah.
So you just see all the players, at least it seems like the closer we get to the draft, it seems to be even harder, but it's just people shitting on them. Over and over, and every story is just like, I don't know about this. I can't imagine that a lot of those are legitimate concerns.
I feel like I like this year and last year's draft as well. Last year a little bit different because I think we still had a combine last year. This year was no combine, and I think the difference here is it's like teams are really forced to evaluate the tape. We don't have, it's always that combine stud that comes out. Chase Claypool was the guy last year who really kind of catapulted himself. The thing about
everybody running 4.4s this year, wasn't it? There's a bunch of fast 40s and shit.
These are pro days, though.
Yeah.
So pro day times are like, you know what I'm saying? You're gonna run a better 40 at your pro day. If you don't, then you need to talk to your trainers and your coaches and shit. Like your 40 time should be better on your own field with the people hand timing you and stuff like that. So, but we don't. I think you won't see those like certain people get overdrafted. Like it forces teams to cut the film on and evaluate what they see, and you're gonna see.
What it should be.
Whose scouting department is really doing their due diligence instead of just looking at combine numbers and trying to base or build their team, based off of that. So I think it's going to be a very interesting draft, but I think 1, 2, and 3 is definitely locked in for sure. For sure.
Yeah.
Only other football thing I had was I think Clowney is a clown. Jadeveon Clowney.
Wow.
He's a clown.
What'd he do?
Of course, he signed to the Browns. They signed him to a 1 year, $10 million deal.
That was a clown move.
No. I think that's solid. Hey, it's a good move. I think it's a solid pickup for the Browns.
Of course.
I think, it's a good move for him. Because, why not? It's a $10 million deal. It's what he said.
What did he say?
He said that...
He could have said anything.
He
said anything.
This dude said that he thinks he could be a defensive player of the year.
Why shouldn't he think that?
Because he's 7 years into the league, and me, you, and Moss all had the same amount of sacks as him last year. In 8 games. He played 8 games last year. We all had the same amount of sacks that he had last year.
I was kind of getting to it a little bit. They couldn't hold me.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I got you. But look, let's be real. Bro, you can't come out and say shit like this and you have none of the career production. This is his 4th team in 4 years.
No, I'm saying last year, was he with the Seahawks?
He was with Tennessee last year. The year before that, he was with the Seahawks.
Right. I was about to give him out because they traded him.
The Texans traded him to the Seahawks. Seahawks had him for 1 year and then didn't re-sign him. Went to a 1 year deal with Tennessee.
So he had it bad. Yeah.
Bro, don't come out and say, why are you setting yourself up like this?
Got some confidence, bro. I ain't mad at it.
Yeah, what's he supposed to say? You can't like this sign and think it's a good
I might be all right this year, for real. I might be all right this year. I don't know. We'll see.
I think he should come with a more realistic approach. Just say hopefully I can remain healthy and put together the best season that I can.
It's funny you're going to tell somebody to be realistic. That's all I'm going to say. It's funny to hear you tell somebody to be realistic.
He's one of the most overhyped players in NFL history. Honestly, he lived off that. We all remember when we think of Jadeveon Clowney, we don't think about anything he's done in the NFL. We think about that one play that he made in college where he busted through the line, smacked the old boy, and he made a fumble and he recovered it a fucking fantastic play.
It was.
It was one of the best college plays you'll ever see. But that's what the hype was about. That's what got him drafted over guys like Khalil Mack. And who's a better player? It's not close. Like I said, you never had.
Shit right deep. You been not fucking with
bro. You never had double-digit sacks in your career.
So, man.
You never had double-digit sacks in your career.
We're going to see. We're going to see how it turns out.
I'm not letting up on it.
We appreciate you taking the time to get that out.
Fuck him and Miles.
Big news. Big news.
Yeah.
So Moss is ready to get to some music.
Let's do it.
I am as well.
We got some good music this week. Finally. After a couple dry spells.
Talk to us. What'd you find out there on these streets? New music
we
Friday.
gotta start off with the Machine, Conway. Dropped another one. What was it?
La Máquina.
How many tracks?
10, I believe.
What the fuck does that mean?
The machine in Spanish?
Yeah, it's the machine,
okay.
bro.
Okay.
It's the machine, bro.
That makes sense.
11 tracks.
That's a dope word.
Solid.
Yeah.
Máquina.
Yeah. Solid project.
Is he Hispanic?
Nah.
At all?
No.
Okay.
They still tapping into the dope dealer.
Okay,
gotcha.
I imagine it being like a, I don't know, see like machetes when I hear that word.
It's got that vibe to it.
Okay, yeah. Dope.
That's 11 songs.
Yeah, 11.
Okay, tight.
Solid project. He's spazzing.
What sticks out? What are the notable tracks?
The KD track, I like that joint. Of course, the Scatterbrain, I think that's a single off of it.
Scatterbrain with Luda.
JID.
Yeah, we listened to that. That's dope. That was a tight track.
The joint with 2 Chainz is hard.
Blood Roses.
Blood Roses, yeah, that came out.
Blood Roses and KD and Scatterbrain were the 3 that I liked the most.
Yeah.
How many features does he have on there?
It's got one person, I think she's one chick on here that's featured 3 or 4
Yeah, you got a
songs.
couple people that's singing.
Okay,
Like
singing features
three or
are fine.
4 solid
Okay,
features.
that's not bad. I can settle with that.
I put it on, I'll be honest with you, I put it on at first and I think early, maybe the first 2 songs, I can't remember it completely, but they were just like that, what I think of from
Griselda.
before with Griselda, where it's like super eerie, slow beat, and he just raps and raps and raps.
Yeah.
And it was all right, but I was like, I don't really care. I wasn't in the mood for that.
Right.
But then that 3rd song comes on, Blood Roses, and he gets the chick doing the hook. And I think from then on, 3 through 11 had a lot better like actual songs to it. Album is solid.
Yes.
By the end of it, I was really impressed.
He went off. I like hearing the evolution of Conway, and sad to say, I'm thinking Conway is kind of like getting into that bag a little better than Benny right now.
Which bag
And
is
Benny
that?
is my guy. When he gets on these beats, it's not the Griselda beats. He's going crazy, like the same. I feel like Benny isn't, even not that he can't, he's not capable, but he's not showing the presence on those tracks like Conway is. Every time I hear him on these trap beats, trap drum beats, Conway is the star on the song every time. It's like, damn, he went crazy on that shit. Of course, this is his album, so of course
Conway seems like he has a bit more flow.
Yeah, he gets into his bag.
He has a bit more
He gets
flow.
into his bag.
Benny, I mean, every time I've listened to Benny, it's the same. To me, anyway, it's a similar approach to songs, and maybe it's just because of the beat selection.
Right.
But I feel like he has a similar approach. The way he, delivers his cadence and stuff like that. So, from what I heard from Conway,
for sure.
he looks like he likes to dibble and dabble in different flows and cadences and stuff like that. So
Conway definitely tapped into a different bag here lately. I'm fucking with it.
that's solid.
I'm fucking with
solid. That's solid. What about your boy?
Who?
Your boy.
Who's my boy?
Your boy, Young Slime, Young Thug.
Oh, Thugger.
Yeah.
That Slime Language 2 drop.
Yeah.
Compilation album of his label YSL.
Definitely
Hard.
that.
Hard.
Definitely that.
I turned that shit on the way from work. The first 6 tracks went crazy to me. Every single one of them just was bangers. I'm like, yo, this shit is hard. Like, it's just a bunch of hard records. Bunch of slaps. I was riding to it, vibing to it.
I felt like it was a bunch of like I just wasn't impressed by anything. Like nobody was saying anything in any of these records that was impressive. Like I didn't hear any bars. I just heard a bunch of like the young nigga
You know what's funny to me?
Yeah, well,
You know what's funny to me?
This is about to be bad because I am heavily in Carl's corner right now. My take is going to be
That's
similar,
good.
but I have a more positive spin for it. Go ahead.
But this is what I have for word. You don't listen to barred up rap no more, right? But then you listen to these new guys that makes these songs of some people that you like, some people you don't, and then you want to break down their bars. Why?
No, I mean
I'm not listening to him
I think
wow
that's
me
a
with
good
the
question.
bars.
I think that's a
I'm
good
here to
question.
hear the hard ass beats, some hard crazy flows and sounds and shit.
But the hooks are not even good. That's what I'm saying. It's nothing. I'm not taking anything from these songs.
But you
it's
was talking about bars, though. You was talking ain't saying nothing in their bars.
It's nothing that I took from any of these songs. It was just like a bunch of throwaways to me. That's what it sounded like. Like all of these songs, I don't feel like any thought. Like the shit that I listen to, whether you think it or not, I feel like the artists that I listen to put thought into their music. Like you can feel at least where they're coming from. Like they're at least giving you some kind of life, like perceptions or something like that. Like I'm taking something away from their music, and then I have a general understanding. Young Thug, I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. It's a bunch of general shit. Like
I got a question.
I don't like that type of music. I can't listen to a bunch of it.
So y'all said before y'all are like some Young Thug singles, but you don't want to listen to the album, right?
Yeah, that's a negative. Yeah,
that's what I said.
So what makes you like the single?
All right, can I give my take, and it's going to kind of answer your question as well. All right, so I think of when I listened through it, I thought the album was okay. Like I took a handful of songs that I think I'll throw on a list and listen to some, but I was not overly impressed with anything either. To me, it was just like I just looked at it as like this is just some mid. Like these songs are cool. They sound really cool. Like. Thug is great at making the beats sound good. His voice sounds weird on the tracks and shit. He's got a whole bunch of rappers that I like featured on the song. So all the ones I kept are features of of artists that I liked. But I don't think anybody talked about anything. There wasn't anything that like really grabbed my eye. Hold on.
The one part Lil Baby gets on there, and I thought it was Young Thug at first. I'm like, oh, this is finally what I've been looking for.
It made it sound like a Lil Baby song, though.
Somebody talk about all of the songs sound like somebody else's song.
All right, so that was my point. I had already thought of this, so it was weird that you threw in the chat that he's basically DJ Khaled.
Yeah, right.
I think of Thug. Pause on all this. He is like seasoning to the food. I don't want a plate served up of seasoning, but when you put a good piece of meat on there, and he could just season the meat and make the meal taste good. It's incredible. So all the songs that I liked were just like the whole project was though. Right. Well, that's why I said I grabbed so many features. I took 8 songs, but to Carl's point, I don't think there was anything like special about any of these songs. It was just like these sound. Oh, so
I'm not saying it blew me away. No. I'm not saying it was like the greatest thing I've ever heard. I thought it was good. It was vibing. It was some good songs. There was some slaps on there. That's why I was trying to answer the question. When I think of Thug, you said that shit was horrible.
I will never listen to any of it again.
I was like horrible. It wasn't bad.
There's not a song on there that I want to hear again.
All right. I mean,
that's how I felt about it. Maybe the one with Lil Baby.
I probably won't either. I liked it for when I listened to it.
Yeah. I'm just saying that's how I felt about it. Like I said, it was just a bunch of
I just happy to have some music.
I won't take it away from
some new music.
Taking anything away from any song that I heard, but like I said, a bunch of I'm not. That's not my style. That's not really my style. I can tell you that. But you know what I did listen to this week?
What did you think of that Drake song before you tell us?
I thought it was average. I wasn't impressed, but I will never play it again.
Do you think that one is going to have any legs?
Probably so. It's Drake.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Drake. It's gonna get something going. I listened to Lil TJ. I listened to that album.
Okay. What you think about it?
Solid project. I like it. I think it starts off a bit slow for me. I got a bone to pick with you about Lil TJ though, bro. I don't get how you can say you put on Rod Wave and that shit was so sad, and then you say that Lil TJ go hard. That shit is sad as fuck, man. That shit is fucking depressing, dog.
Look, it's not necessarily what they saying. It's the mood of the song.
Yo, he is. That shit is fucking depressing.
A lot of TJ shit, he be talking about some sad shit, but it's a bop though. It's like, yo, this shit kind of jamming.
I don't know.
Rod Wave shit is always the same mood to me. He has a few bops that I like where it is a bop. I was like, that shit, all right, I fuck with it. It's the mood it puts me in.
Bro, I'm trying to tell you, like,
I think that's a good answer.
Yo, you could cry to that Lil TJ shit.
He has something like that. He has some joints on there like that. But it's not the whole joint. It's not the whole thing.
There's a very similar mood Maybe it was just the feelings or the mood that I was in at the time.
He had some bangers in there though.
No, it's a few, but for the most part, it's the same kind of like feeling or like emotion that you're gonna get from each track. But overall, I come with a different level of respect for Lil TJ. I think he's solid. He's definitely taking over that Ace Boogie lane for sure. And I think he's a solid artist. One bar I like that he said was, "Run up on me, you can get more than fucked up." I like that shit. Like, yeah, damn, you'll get more than fucked up. I like that shit.
Like when he's talk that talk.
Yeah. So I mean, a solid project overall, and there's some good songs that I'm definitely gonna add to my playlist from that. So I fuck with Lil TJ.
I keep forgetting about it. I still haven't listened at all.
It's solid, man.
Yeah. It's not bad.
And check out the new Saweetie.
I have not.
Me
No.
It was an album or a song?
I think it's an album.
Oh,
I know she was on she's got a song with Lil TJ on there, but
yeah, I just saw that.
Yeah, she does. She does.
Mood or whatever that shit is called. But no.
Big Crit. You heard that new Big Crit single?
I didn't
Pick up the pace.
Bro, I ain't listened to Big Crit in a long time.
He sounded weird on that.
I don't know what's going on with Big Crit.
Different.
I don't know what's going on with Big Crit. But I don't like the path.
Probably trying to switch it up, man.
I don't like the path he's going, bro. He's trying to like do young things. And not saying that he's an old rapper, but it's like
it's not his
you have your lane. Like you have your
He's supposed to be like the Anthony Hamilton of rap. He's supposed to stay.
That weirdly makes sense.
He's supposed to stay like there.
Motherfucker Anthony Hamilton.
No, but I love Anthony Hamilton. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, but you make it seem like he make old soul classics.
No, right. You're supposed to be like this soulful country rapper. Like this is who you're supposed to be.
His music has a feeling to me.
I want to hear more.
It has a feeling. This shit just sounds like you just trying something.
Right.
Like,
Don't do that.
Has he done this a couple times?
He's put out a few singles, a few little EPs where he's doing this.
I didn't realize
Ever since that last album that was his best album to me, it's like he's went away from that altogether. It's like, yo, that was your best project. This is what we love from you, Crit. Why aren't you giving us that?
Maybe looking at the return though, like, okay, yeah,
that was his most successful album too, and his best project. Like this is
maybe he just tried
first
to level
album
up.
He did after he got off the label, off Def Jam, and it went crazy for him because he wasn't trying to catch a hit and get a single. He just made a great complete really album. That shit was solid.
He's weird, man.
Yeah,
he was supposed to blow.
The songs,
right?
The music of his,
he was supposed to blow.
The music of his that I like, I think is incredible, and I love it. The stuff that I don't like, I'm like, I hate this.
Right.
Bad.
It's become hit or miss.
Really, really hot or cold for me, and I don't really check for him that much, to be honest with you. I did see that song though, and I wasn't a fan.
To me, like he was supposed to be like Cole.
Right,
because
yeah, sure. Down south, like real Southern Cole.
To be honest, he's a way better producer than Cole, and he raps too. But his beats are incredible. He's an incredible producer than Cole. Cole makes good beats, but not on Crit's level to me. But he's never been able to pop off like he wanted to.
Nope, that's a rap. I mean, that's not going to happen. That's what I'm trying to say.
I fuck with Crit though. I'm always gonna check him.
Yeah. It's might just be trying new stuff, man. Just time to hang it up. Time for Crit to open a soul food restaurant up or something.
This guy's the worst.
Crit's Catfish or something. You know what I'm saying?
Crit need to make one of them groups I was talking about with some rappers and he be the producer, man, rap a little bit. That should be hard. If we could like put together like a group, that should be hard.
Anthony Hamilton did that shit too.
He did. Talking about the Hamiltons?
Yeah, the Hamiltons. yeah, maybe you should.
And the Critters.
Yeah, the Critters. Yeah.
Get out of here. That's wild.
Yeah, it is.
Maybe. I don't know. What's next with Crit?
I think your boy Lil Papa got a fire track out here. I really like that song.
Yeah,
I really like.
I think that's his lane though. I think
AM Flights.
I think you should check out more of his albums if you like that though, because like that's generally the lane that he stays in.
I liked most of the songs that you've shared. I thought they were cool, but not like blown away. This one I really, really like a lot.
He's a good artist. I think what sets Lil Papa apart because he's not lyrical. He's not gonna blow you away with like wordplay or it's really, and it's not necessarily his flow, it's his recording style that's different from everybody else. Is why I like Lil Papa. It's like the shit he talk about is dope too, because I mean he talk about real life circumstances and shit that he goes through or whatever, and just like keeping it real. Like he doesn't do a lot of rap flexing or nothing like that, but his recording style, like you could tell, like I'm not sure how he writes his music. Like that's what like throws me off a little bit. You can tell like he kind of like his music is like in layers. So you can tell like he'll say something and then immediately he'll come on the back end and finish the bar. Like he's punching in. But that's how he always records his songs. You know what I'm saying?
That's what all these young rappers do now.
Not really. I mean, if you listen to Lil Papa, it's different from anybody else you hear. Like, I don't know. It's really hard for me to say, like, explain it. But he's really jumping in on it. Like as soon as that bar is finished, he's popping in, or he's finishing the bar by punching in. You know what I'm saying? So it's like
he just does his punch in is different.
Yeah. And I mean, it makes for a really good sound on songs, though. It's unique, and it makes like the song like more cohesive or like flow better, because he's not trying to like rush to get these things out.
It don't sound like he's stopping to take a breath.
Right, he just boom, I'm punching in right here, or like it's his recording style is very unique, and I don't really see that a lot. I mean, I've seen it done before, like in pieces, like for a hook. But this is how he records every song.
Is that a problem for performances?
I'm about to say the same thing. That would make it tough to perform it.
I mean, not necessarily, because people don't rap every word when they perform anyway.
That's true too.
So, you know, that shouldn't make
changed, bro.
Right, you don't rap.
Changed out here.
You don't rap every word.
You got to worry about how you perform it, because you ain't got to say all your words.
Right, you don't have to say all that shit. People gonna either say it for you, or you got a hype man, or somebody, and your music's normally playing in the background.
It's still something to that, though.
It's rarely people who actually go out there and perform on the instrumentals now. Like they're just playing a song and then rapping over top of that shit. So
it's something to that. That should be like a part of like a checklist of a great rapper, your performance. Yeah, and not just playing your track and saying ad-libbing your verse and shit. Like that's like what you doing. Rap your shit.
Like, that shit matters when it comes to like you know, actually going to their concerts and seeing them and stuff like that. Yeah. Of course, but if you're a fan of the music, you vibing to it regardless. You just singing the songs, you singing the words for them anyway. So I think at the end of the day, if you're a true fan of that person, maybe it matters if you don't really know the songs like that. But if you do, you singing the shit anyway. So it really don't matter.
Yeah, I think of the performance as being like just a bonus. But because me as a fan, I'm not going to be going out to a bunch of live shows. I've been to a few and stuff, but I'm not like somebody that chases that. That's not important to me. So if somebody can rap, and they put out great music, but they're a terrible performance, I don't care.
Right.
It does nothing.
It's different though.
I think the ones that are great performers should get props for that. Like they should get a boost or get extra.
When I say Crit and Sci High, I know I always talk about that shit, but yo. You ain't hearing their verse in the song. They spitting every single word, every single line.
But these are like lyricists, though.
Yeah, of course.
You know what I'm saying?
I didn't realize that.
Going crazy. It's like, yo, it just shows you like a different level of talent when you can do that.
For sure. For sure.
It's just crazy.
That's why I think those guys should get props for that. Like that should be something that you take into consideration when you're judging them as an artist.
Yeah.
But if you suck at it, it's not like a negative for me.
But that's why I said,
don't get those points.
I think I said a few weeks ago about how not writing used to be a thing when people was really still spitting. But these kids that are doing this shit they doing now, like, it sounds like you don't write. Like, of course, like,
true.
All right, yeah, you just go in there and just do what you do. Like, like, so saying like, yeah, I don't write. It's not like you saying crazy shit to us. Like, damn, you ain't write that. It's like, no, we get it. Right. We already know you're not writing.
It's not a brag, bro.
Like, it's a different thing.
It's more like an excuse.
Yeah, exactly.
I think it's impressive sometimes. Just the fact that they can, like, the songs that they come up with, but like I said, the lyrics within it, you be like, it sounds like you didn't write anything.
Yeah,
that's certainly fair. You didn't even have to tell me that.
Right.
I would be. If you
said,
have to say that. If you said that you wrote it, I'd be looking at you like, damn, you're not that smart, bro.
It came across louder when you played it.
Right. You
it's a different thing when you hear like Wayne going crazy and like, yo, he ain't write none of this. He just rapped all this shit off the
You don't have to write. Yeah.
Exactly.
You don't have to write that. You don't have to write that.
How many yas is it?
Yeah, right.
Fuck.
You don't have to write that. So, hey, I get it. That's fine. But, I mean...
I thought he was very Dirkish on this song.
Oh,
I think is
Lil Papa?
Like yeah. I'm not saying like he's copying him or nothing. That was the vibe I got from him. I was like, this is dope.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you can pull that from him a little bit. To me, I think it's hard to find like an exact comparison for Lil Papa, but at first I thought of like a little bit of Polo G-ish sometimes. So yeah, he's a good artist, I think, man. He got some melodies in his hooks and stuff, and then overall, like I said, the content that he talks about is a real deal. So stream Lil Papa if you want some real shit in your life.
Yeah, I haven't heard it. I'm gonna check it out.
Yeah, I think
You've been on
he got a few albums out there that you can pick through, and like I said, you'll hear what I'm talking about when I talk about that recording style.
I want to hear that. I want to listen
shit
to that.
Like he literally like finishes all. You like, ain't no way you got that shit out that fast. You know, you jumped on that before the bar was even over. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they said it's super unique. But when we talk about performing and stuff, I've never seen anybody perform and rap all of this shit. And I've been to a few concerts. I've seen Wiz Khalifa twice.
Yeah.
Big Sean and Kevin Gates.
Big Sean didn't rap all this shit?
Push rapped his, but that makes sense to me.
Damn, I would think Big Sean would do that.
I don't remember seeing him, but again, look, shit, we was young.
Yeah, but it's like
I was spaced out a little bit.
It becomes like a part of the show, especially like a Big Sean, the way that he raps, to see him just the beat and just going crazy like that.
Yeah.
That puts on the show. It's like, yo, he going crazy. He ain't messing up a word. That's what adds to the show.
He
you know
was rapping, but it's not like he was saying every single word. You know,
that's what it's damn.
He's one of them big energy guys on stage and shit, jumping around. And
was it his show? It was like a group of people.
It was Wiz and Big Sean when I saw him. Yeah.
You gotta do that, Big Sean. You're supposed to be a spitter out here. He wants to be about that.
I mean, I don't remember really seeing that. And then Kevin Gates literally came out in the first 3 songs. He didn't say a word.
See, that's bullshit. That don't piss you off?
No, because
if I pay for it,
I'm not here to be at a party. I'm here to see you perform the song.
It didn't piss me off because he was like, it was intentional. Like he was just staring down the crowd on some weird Kevin Gates type shit. Like literally mean mugging everybody in the fucking audience.
If he won't singing 3 straight songs, he ain't rap none of it. What are you doing?
I might be exaggerating when I say 3, but it seemed like it was a very long time.
That's wild.
That he was mean mugging the crowd, bro. But then once, but he set it up that way because once the 4th or the 3rd or 4th song came on and he really started rapping that shit.
Yeah.
Like the whole crowd went crazy.
The whole time from that, like once he started rapping with the songs, was he rapping, or he was still taking time off? And
no, I mean he was pretty much going in.
Gotcha.
He was going in. He was performing. He was performing his song, but I mean, like I said, like it went from a mean mug to like turn up type shit. So it fucked you up mentally because it's like, what kind of shit is he on? When is he
so he was doing like it's a part of his show.
Yeah, it's like part of his set. It's like when is he going?
It's a tension build up.
Right. It kind of builds the anticipation.
You come in with a banger on the.
I think it was.
It'd be kind of fun.
I think I Don't Get Tired. And then he came in, and the whole fucking place went crazy.
That sounds kind of,
you know what I'm saying?
Well, that's different. All right,
if he was just a setup,
purposely just not rapping his songs, like what you doing? Like I paid to see you do something.
I said mean mugging the fucking like super uncomfortable almost.
That kind of makes sense to Gates. All right, I can see Gates doing that shit.
Yeah. It was just he's a weird cat, but I mean, I enjoyed that. Was like in Roanoke when he performed.
I remember that.
That gotta be a part of the pod trip, bro. We gotta go see a show. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. We should definitely. We got to go to a concert or something. I mean, it's kind of difficult in this climate or whatever.
No, shit down south opened up. People doing shows.
Yeah. We got some opportunity for it. Maybe we can find like a mixture. I don't know. I don't know if like we can find like
some out there.
Some people that there's somebody that we all fuck with, of course. But maybe we can find like a few different artists, and it's like
we'll have
to look it up. We'll have to look it up. But a concert should definitely be on the checklist, man. That should definitely be on the bucket list for sure.
I like that idea.
For sure.
Was there any other new music this week that you guys listened to? Anything else that we need to be aware of?
No, I think that was about it.
No, I ain't got
pretty decent week.
I don't have any more new music.
Was there any R&B?
What do y'all think about these Usher Bucks?
Usher Bucks.
So,
I done heard the story in a lot of different ways now, so it's kind of like makes sense.
So, yeah, I mean, apparently he was at a strip club and the money that he was throwing had his face on it.
Yeah.
That's like psycho shit to me. But if you're asking for real.
It's weird.
But the story I'm hearing, the full story, it was a promo thing. It was in Vegas. He has a residence in Vegas right now.
He's about to
he did throw real money at the beginning, and then he ended off throwing the Usher Bucks as a promo thing for his residency in Vegas. The only thing they got blown up was about him throwing fake money. Like he would just be out here throwing fake money. So they made it into like this is a good joke.
Yeah, he's doing like shows in Vegas for like the next however
that's
long.
That's what residency is, where you like for the next few months you're going to be performing here every Friday, Saturday night, or something like that.
That's pretty dope, though.
Yeah, so it was a promo thing, so which it kind of worked because it brought attention to that.
Y'all ever been to Vegas?
Right, that's true.
Nah, I ain't been there.
You ever been to Vegas?
Yeah. Y'all just came back from there.
Yeah. Apparently it's lit down there, but I'm not sure.
That's where he was?
Yeah, he went to Vegas.
Fuck out of here. I gotta ask him about that tonight.
Tell me some, well, not crazy shit, but he's like, the gas is so terrible. He was like, it was so terrible. He's like, yo, we blowing way better in Virginia.
Oh yeah, that's in most places.
I was like, that's wild.
Did you know that was in most places? That they had like in DC they had like a festival.
Right, I heard about that. That shit was weak too.
And yeah, right. The shit that you came up there with was probably better.
That's wild. That just let me know. It gave me a thought. When people was like, it's gonna take down the plug or whatever, it's gonna make the plug the best thing ever now.
When it's legalized, when marijuana is legalized,
it's gonna be, the plug is gonna be bigger than ever now, because they always gonna have that shit that you want, and it's gonna be cheaper.
They can definitely move around safer with it.
That's what I'm saying.
They say you can grow up to 4 plants.
Yeah,
I thought I had seen 2, but
something like that. Whatever.
Same idea.
I'm not sure.
That's crazy though.
Yeah. I mean, shit.
Shout out to Virginia.
I bought me a hoe and shit.
Bought me a hoe?
Yeah, I bought me a hoe.
Hey, what kind though? You got to be specific.
Yeah, farming.
I kind of want to go to Vegas. I kind of don't.
I'm not sure if it's for me necessarily, but it's one of those experiences like you might as well have it in life type thing, you know?
Yeah.
I'm not a gambler, so it's like
I want to do it if we was going to actually like do something that was going on there. I wouldn't want to go there like for a vacation.
But no, I'm saying but it's nothing but stuff going on in Vegas though.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, yeah.
You're going to find something to get into.
Sure. I'm just like, I don't know. When I go on vacation, I like to go to shit where I can chill.
Yeah.
I don't like hectic vacation.
It's
like
a lot of people.
Where there's a lot of shit going on. You don't know what's what. Yeah. You moving around. You doing a lot of walking, trying to figure out what shit at. It just ruins the vacation for me.
I'm hot and shit.
Yeah, like you getting irritated. You want to just go back to the room, fuck, and spark up, fuck.
Yeah.
I would like to go because I want to gamble and stuff and do. I'm sure it would be like fun stuff to go to.
Yeah,
but it just seems like I could do that at a different casino. That's not.
Yeah,
that's far away too. Yeah, right.
I mean, do like in Atlantic City or something, and I'm sure that you could have just as good a time, but not have to do the Vegas part.
Right. I think it's just all about.
I wouldn't be mad if I had to go.
The atmosphere or the I'm sure it's a good time. It's just
it can't be boring.
Right. You gonna find something to do.
That sucked.
Or at least you gonna see some wild shit that's going on in the area. It's a historic place. You know, it's I mean, why not? I'm definitely. I'm gonna go there. It's not at the top of my list of places to go, but it's
if
certainly
I was going out
that
way, I would rather go to California.
You gonna be a drinker if you go to Vegas.
I like to go somewhere like Denver, go to Colorado or something.
That could be cool too.
It's popping out there.
You want to go? I don't want to go to no fucking Colorado. I'm not trying to travel nowhere where it's cold.
I'm saying, I heard it's popping. I mean, of course not in the colder months.
It doesn't always have to be cold.
Yeah,
I guess not.
Cold year round.
Well, I'm just saying, when I'm trying to travel, I'm trying to go like Cali, fucking Florida.
I want to do that one time. I want to get out to Cali and do like some Calis.
Like I have no desire to visit New York for.
Either really.
Dude, I've been there several times, and New York is not impressive to me. It's a big ass city. A lot of people. It's hectic. One of them things is like, nah, I'm good on that. type thing. Yeah, it's a lot of stuff that you can get into and do and stuff like that. But no, I'm like, I want chill vibes. So yeah, you know what I'm saying? Go out to California or
well, I was saying, I think the best case scenario of going to like a big city for a vacation is if you know somebody that's there, because then it kind of weeds out all the bullshit of going to a city that you're not from or don't know shit's going on. They'll show you the spots, the different places to go, where to get your shit at, all this other shit, and then all that's clear, and then you can just figure out what we're gonna do to have fun.
Yeah, because when I went to, I wasn't thinking that I've ever really done any big city exploration, but when I went to Detroit, that was a situation.
Yeah.
Going to stay with somebody that's there, and then he took me to, this random ass pizza spot, and we went and checked out the record store, mad different stuff. But I agree with you 100%. I would check in. If I'm just making a random vacation, I want to be somewhere where I'm not doing anything. I'm a lazy piece of shit, to be honest with you.
Shit is just a breeze. Everything is easy, cool.
I like to have stuff to do or whatever. Like, of course, you want to have your chill times. That's why I like going on like cruises and stuff, because they already have that stuff laid out for you.
That does seem like a good fit.
But because when I like to go on trips and stuff like that, I really don't matter. I'm a person who I plan. Like, I want to have an itinerary.
Do you really? That would be me too.
I'm the complete opposite.
I don't want to be out there
on vacation. I don't want no plan. Don't give me no schedule. Let's just do it.
I want to know this is what we're doing today.
Yeah, me too.
This is what we're doing tomorrow. This is what we're doing. Like, I want to have all that shit laid out. Even if I can get to places, like, I want to have a list of places that we have to eat. You know what I'm saying? That, all right, so we got to check off these places. Like, these are the places that we're going to eat, because I don't want to be searching, so what do you want to eat right now? So what do you want? You know what I'm saying? Every time we want to go I know, let's go to this place because we heard about this one. Yeah. This is the one we wanted to check out. Let's check this off our list.
And that's what I'm eliminating by having somebody where you're going. They already got that covered for me.
Right, yeah, no doubt. That's for sure. But I'm saying, you're not going to have that everywhere you vacation.
That's true.
So when we do the pod trip, I can book us a spot because I'm good at this.
Right.
Carl can be our itinerary guy.
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
And Moss is here to ride.
Yeah, right.
Roller coaster,
bro.
Right. We're here to ride the roller coaster.
I'm gonna find us something. We're gonna get something. I know you're gonna find something.
That's funny. I did not picture you as that dude.
I don't like to be.
That's really funny.
I don't like random trips. I'm not a spontaneous type of person.
That's so opposite of what I think of you, bro.
No, I'm not spontaneous at all.
I'm hype. I'm not either.
I don't get excited for that. Like, I've had, like, in past relationships and stuff like that, that was like, I guess, a critique. I was like, girls like to just be taken on a whim, on a private jet and shit. Like, bitch, who you dealing with? You know what I'm saying?
What are you talking about?
I'm just saying, though, like, this is what they're in their mind and shit. They want to catch flights here and there. I'm like, no. To me, I want to plan strategically about exactly what we're doing, how long we're going to be there, all of this stuff. I want to have, already thought out. I want to know exactly how much money I'm gonna need. I mean, of course, I'm gonna come fully prepared, but I want a general idea of how much money I'm gonna spend. You know what I'm saying?
I ballpark it up front, or I set the amount up front that I've got. And we're planning around this. That's funny. Oh, I feel better.
I mean, seriously, bro. Like I said, I'm not a spontaneous type of person. It's not. If I go somewhere, that's just not gonna be necessarily on a whim. Like, I spent time thinking about this. Like, this is what we're gonna do when we get there. This is the day. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how I like it. Otherwise, it's just a bunch of fucking questions.
I like that.
That's true. That's true.
That.
I don't like it. Yeah, for sure.
Fuck with that.
Well, the one other music thing that I had written down was you had mentioned that you watched this morning that Moray interview on Breakfast Club yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Right.
You got to check this dude out.
I'm going to check it out.
He was so funny. So funny. Just like one of the happiest people I've ever seen interviewed on there, where like anything they ask him, he's like excited to answer.
Yeah,
like,
he was
mad talkative and stuff, and would just give a super long answer. Goes off on random ass stories.
Well, he was saying that he was never really thinking this was for him. Like, this will happen for him, like, type thing, right? Well, I haven't seen that interview, but I saw a No Jumper interview or whatever, where he was saying like, bro, I mean, last year this wasn't even like necessarily a thought for me, type of thing.
He spoke about that. He said he quit rap a few times already.
Right. It's, I guess, somebody that he knew kind of like put him up.
Yeah.
And, you know, things kind of just blew up for him all of a sudden, almost like overnight. But,
he really seemed like a regular ass small town dude.
Yeah.
He is, though, right?
It legit seemed like nothing was going on 7 months ago. Right. And then all of a sudden it's bam, I'm a star. So that was
on the Breakfast Club. He was probably watching interviews back to back.
Yeah, he said that.
He said he's been watching for forever. I don't know why, but he reminded me of the fat kid on Lean On Me.
Oh yeah,
that was immediately who I thought of, and she's just got like this huge smile. And
smoke crack, don't you?
Yeah.
What was his name?
I can't think of his name.
I can't think of it either. But yeah, I liked his music anyway. But I've told y'all before, like once I see somebody on an interview and you get kind of a feel of like how they are as a person,
facts,
either makes or breaks how much I like their music moving forward. He sold me on. I'm a fan of his this dude. I hope he really keeps blowing up and stuff. I hope it's not just a quick.
You see, No Jumper had asked him about the things that academics have been saying about him.
What's academics said about him?
So academics calls him an industry plant.
He's been doing that to everybody.
So stupid.
And
bro.
so,
anybody
but his
up.
answer about it was real cool. He was like, look, I mean, if that's the perception of what somebody, like, he's like, shit, 7 months ago or 9 months ago, I was sitting on my couch. You know, I ain't have shit going type thing. Like, so if that's how he feels about it, or if you think I'm an industry plant, like, look now, like, I'm fine with that. That's pretty much what he was saying. If that's what you think, okay, I'm fine with that. Like, I appreciate you, bro. Like, he didn't say anything negative about DJ Academics. He was like, I appreciate it, bro. Like, if anything, that brings more attention to me. So, thank you, type thing. Like,
yeah, that's not understanding.
But Academics was saying he was an industry plant because it's just one of those artists that he said the same thing about 24K Golden. Just kind of one of those artists that just came out of nowhere, and like you don't really see, or they didn't have like a buzz growing. It wasn't a rumbling to get to the explosion. All of a sudden, it was a boom. You know, all of a sudden he's on his songs on all of these playlists.
I guess that's the weird place to put because of the era that we in. We see people pop up every day. There's always somebody blowing up. There's always somebody going viral. It's always happening every day.
And it's even more weird to come from academics.
Right.
Who just consistently shares viral videos.
Yeah.
Like he understands virality or whatever the word would be. He knows what it takes to have a video. That's his lane.
Yeah.
What's he talking about?
I don't know.
That's going to be a part of the internet era.
Yeah, I don't know why he said it necessarily. It's just that that's just the way that he feels about it, though.
It's just such a lazy. I think it's a really lazy claim to make.
But he did say he likes Murray's music and stuff like that. But he was just saying like, and he was saying that like, these people. He's not saying that they're not talented or anything like that. He said that they're clearly immensely talented. But I guess he was just overall saying like, hey. Not everybody gets to jump in the game. Like he's saying that you skipped over people. That's why I call him an industry
That's not fair to say this. You skipped. Oh, he's 28 years old.
That's
but again,
it's like most people popping off at 17, 18, 19, 20 years old.
That's true.
He's 28 years old. He said he tried to quit like 3-4 times before this, and he got a record that hit.
That's true.
Like it's really just how that happened.
That's true. But I'm saying that same record though is like. You got like your people have to pay for like your record to be on certain playlists on iTunes and Spotify and Tidal and stuff like that. Like your shit just don't pop up on these because it's a buzzing song don't mean it's gonna automatically be on these playlists. You got to be somebody or have like connections to somebody, and that's what he's pretty much saying.
At the same time, if you have a buzzing song and it hits the right ears.
It is what it is.
That shit can happen for
right, like I said, it's just, but first of all, his song went viral on the internet. You know what I'm saying? It didn't go viral on anybody.
Everybody who knew about it when it came out, like, oh shit, what is this new record? Who is this kid?
Right.
And I think it makes no sense to me that a lot of times the people that have the industry plant discussion are the same ones that will say that you can't get signed without having a buzz. So exactly. Like, how can you say that they sign that you have to that he didn't build this buzz,
right? But
then also say that like that the industry is responsible for creating this buzz for him. When out the same side, you also say that you need to have a buzz before the industry is going to accept you. So I just feel like it's just kind of a lazy way to say that somebody else made it and you don't like that they did it so fast.
Oh, the way that they did it. Yeah, right. That's it.
Get over it, bro.
Right.
Quit being jealous. Not the academics are saying this, but to people that say the industry plants stuff, I like that answer.
Yeah.
Maybe I am, maybe I'm not. Okay.
Right. That's pretty much, that was pretty much his answer. Like, okay, that's cool. He's like, shit, I'll take that from what I had.
Right.
Yeah.
If that's what you think about me now, that's fine with me. Sounds great.
I'm here now.
Right.
So what?
Sounds fantastic. And that, I'm cool with that. I would be fine with it.
Everybody's path ain't the same.
Yeah, right. That's true.
Some people blow up overnight. Some people blow up after 2 years working a record.
Right.
Shit just happened different. You never know.
Right. It could be the same song. Like, Waka Flocka, Hard in the Paint. That was an old song.
Yeah.
It just happened to blow up late. You know what I'm saying?
A few times. I can't think of the other examples off the top of my head, but there was somebody like within the last 3 years that had a song that was like
the Trap Queen song. He worked that record for 2 years.
Maybe that was the one that I'm thinking of. I'm not sure.
Then he had a crazy year after that shit.
Right. Yeah. Now it's over for Fetty Wap. Rich Homie Quan even dropped a song this week. I didn't listen to it, but
get out of here.
I'll check it out.
I didn't listen to it.
I'll check out Rich Homie.
The fall off be hard for some artists, man. You really think like depression got to be real for these people? Because you get to being like some like super hot and making all of this money and seeing this income to being like a low level type.
Would you know what'd be bad about it? Because sometimes it don't even be their fault. I think I've seen Duval say this shit one time. He said, "Y'all stop fucking with Rich Homie Quan for no reason." And people really just did. They have no reason for why people don't listen to him no more.
He didn't do anything.
He didn't do nothing wrong.
He didn't say anything wrong.
I think the only thing he had some label issues, the label he was with, so he hadn't put out music for a little bit. And people just forgot about him. That's just what it was.
That's just tough, man. Like I said,
he was on fire and then just forgot about it.
You surprised that some of these artists don't take like more, you don't see like more suicide because of this? Because like, honestly, you got to think depression has to be real when it comes to that. Like being up so high. And then all of a sudden, boom. Like now you're looking like you might be 19 years old and what are you going to do now? Type thing. You know what I'm saying? Like you thought that this was your life going forward. You like, oh, the trajectory on my shit was, man, the next 10 years, I'm going to be a millionaire. Now your shit done like a P&B Rock type dude. Like he was buzzing heavy a few, like probably 5-6 years ago now. But all of a sudden, it's like he wants out of his deal. He said he hasn't even made $1 million in the industry.
It's another thing, like you talk about P&B, when somebody comes to a lane and they're doing something and then it's like 10 more of them come, it can kind of dim your light a little bit and people start looking at the other artists that are doing the same thing you was doing, but they like this guy, there's more.
That's it.
Like sometimes that shit just happened. I think that happened with Fetty Wap when he was doing the singing, rapping shit. A lot more people started doing that shit too with Future. A lot of people started being Futures.
He didn't
fall off. I'm saying.
So you can introduce a new sound that people enjoy, but it doesn't mean that you're the most talented at that.
Yeah, somebody can do that shit better than you.
Y'all should try. Y'all should check this out. It's dope. You're right.
She was on fire.
And then Coil Ray just ran away with that shit.
came through, and they was like, "Oh."
Yeah. And then now Coil Ray is pretty much doing that shit. But, I mean that's just how it is. You don't get any industry that you're in. Innovation don't get you but so far because all you're doing is
you don't capitalize on.
You're doing something that somebody can copy, and if they do it better than you, and you're not expanding upon that, on or taking it to the next level after that, or switching it up and creating something new, then you're gonna get left behind. Somebody's gonna take what you do.
You gotta let it be known. That's why I congratulate Migos because they let it be known that y'all doing our flow. Like when they came out and then everybody started doing it and people started to mimic the Migos flow. It was the Migos flow thing. Right. They let everybody know this is the Migos flow. That's why y'all call it the Migos flow. This is our shit. So then as time goes on, they get that credit.
But even the Migos switched up what they did though. They don't rap anywhere near, their music don't sound anywhere near the same as what it did when they first dropped, when they first came out.
I mean, they've gotten better.
I mean, just the
typically they continue to flow that everybody did.
The style of which Quavo don't rap like that at all no more.
Yeah.
Neither do it. None of them. They don't even sound the same.
I would push back that they get credited for that because they made it known that that's their sound. I think they get credit for it because they did it better than everybody else.
Facts.
And these other things that you're mentioning that they've adjusted and made changes to their styles to stay relevant. I don't believe in that. You need to claim. You need to tell everybody this is your flow, so that when they copy it, you get your credit. I just don't. I
think that has something to do with it, because like what we see now, we see a P&B and a bunch of these singing rappers that's saying that they was doing this before y'all was doing, and they're right. They was doing it before these new artists came through, but y'all didn't claim it. Y'all can't claim it after the fact when you got artists that moved past you in the last few years. You got to claim that shit then, because after that just look like you just salty because you ain't, your buzz ain't hot no more.
I see what you're saying in that regard. I'm saying people that say that they used to do something and don't do it anymore because everybody's outshining them, I believe that's a talent issue, not they should have claimed.
I mean, yeah, if they're not rocking no more, but if you still doing your thing, then you got to let that shit be known.
We all love greatness. If you're doing it better than everybody, I think you get your credit. But how did we?
It's not who did it first, it's who did it best.
Industry plants and fucking all of that shit. Innovation, like I said, with anything, any industry, you're gonna have to expand upon that shit. Just because you're the first person with an idea, great, cool. Hopefully you capitalize as much as possible, but best believe somebody is going to take that idea and add one little feature to it and make it slightly that much more better. So you better be ready for that. And you're going to have to adjust accordingly. You know, it's just how it is. Anything. You got to stay fluid and flexible if you want to stay relevant. So, hey.
Now that I wrote down this sentence or whatever, I guess I was watching something earlier this week. Mm-hmm. It kind of pertains to what we're talking about. I basically just wrote down, few artists can find a niche in rap and be successful from it. I think I seen something when they was talking about how everybody resorts to talking about some street shit or talking about party shit, talking about money. Like that's like the low hanging fruit in rap to talk about these type of things. But artists that don't want to do street shit, or that you get like a chance or somebody like that finds a niche in how they rap and what they talk about, there's not many of those that can find that niche and be great from it.
Sustain it.
Yeah, right. Sustain it. And then people just resort to making a club record or making a girl record or whatever. I thought it was a good topic to speak on a little bit. Because it's kind of real.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. It's, I can't think of an example off the top of my head of an artist who had a niche necessarily. When you first said it, honestly, I thought of the Baby, but like again, he's expanded himself so much now that that's not the case anymore.
Right.
But that's certainly kind of. I think everybody comes in or they blow up off of a certain sound or style, but it's at a certain point you're gonna have to change.
Well,
so, yeah, that's true. I think I agree with it for sure.
It's hard to find that niche.
I'm still thinking on it. I feel like it has to do more with the individual and what their goal or what they're like willing to accept is. Because I think everybody comes in with, not everybody, but I think most artists come in with a certain niche group of people that are interested in them.
Right.
But I think that starts to wane as you are not making changes. Like if you're not expanding and doing different styles, or if you're just putting out the same type of sound over and over.
I think
your people are going to stick with that.
Yeah.
And it's really whether or not you're okay with that.
Right.
If you're okay with the niche, I think people will stick with that, because there's a whole bunch of artists that I go to for a certain thing.
Right. Exactly.
I listen to Kid Cudi because I like Kid Cudi sound. I don't really want to hear him do other stuff.
Right.
But it really comes down to that artist. Like, are you comfortable with what you do and being accepted to whatever level that is? Or are you chasing a following or wanting to become more popular? Is that a goal of yours? Not that that's right or wrong, but if that is a goal of yours, then you've got to step out of your box.
Yeah.
You've got to try to become bigger and get a wider fan base.
I feel like
if you're okay with not having that, I think you can keep it.
Polo G probably falls in that category a bit of just.
Which category?
Of just like, I mean, he has his niche and he's sticking to it pretty much. It's like, you know what you're going to get when you Polo G feature or a song type thing. Like, I like it, of course. And,
so what is it?
Of course, just that one flow that Polo G kind of just rides out. Like, I don't know. You just know how he's coming to every song, and I think he's versatile to switch it up. But he's sticking in that lane because that's what's popping for him right now. He blew up with it, and he's sticking on it. So I think he'll have to grow. But right now, that's just what he's doing, and he's going to continuously turn out songs that sound like that.
What was your statement again? Could you read it again?
Few artists can find a niche in rap and be successful from it.
All right. So, I mean, I think what I said earlier still applies, but yeah, that really comes down to your, what you view as success.
Like you said, you could find a niche and you might get a few people to like it, but you might not be able to get more people to like it.
Right.
So exactly. Then you start tapping into stuff that you think more people would like.
Yeah.
And then you try to chase a record or chase a single. You get caught up in that little sequence and you might lose your niche.
Right.
And then you might get a record that blows up off you not doing something that's you. Well, then you have that struggle. It's like, damn, this is not really the records I want to make, but this is what they love from me now. So it's like, what I'm going to do.
Yeah, that's why I think it depends on your view of success.
Yeah.
Because you can't stay in your one lane and expect to become bigger.
Right.
But you can't expect to become bigger and not have to come out of your lane.
Right.
So you just have to decide which is successful to you.
Right.
Popularity and stuff, or enjoying what you do and having a solid fan.
And it's a fine line when you have to pull that trigger as well too of when do I change? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
When do I make that switch or transition? Like we criticized the baby, but clearly he made it at the right. He took that turn when he was supposed to. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Well, you've got to be fine with losing people.
Right.
Because if you're gonna leave your niche area, some people are not going to want to try something different, and they're going to fall off. And that's crit with me, to be honest.
Or even on the reverse, where the thing that's not your niche pops off, and it's like you want to go back to doing the shit that you want to do.
Right.
It's like, damn, like if I do this, people maybe not fuck with me no more. They like me doing these records.
So possibly, like I said, double-edged sword type thing. But you got, I guess you just got to make the call at the right time, or else you might be Rich Homie Quan. You might be Fetty Wap.
Well, to me, this conversation can tie back into the same conversations that we were having earlier about Trevor Lawrence, in my opinion. Because it really is more like, all these dilemmas that you're dealing with as an artist. Do I want to try to reach more people? Do I want this niche area to be my thing?
Or you find, or you comfortable?
You're all dependent on what do I want from other people to accept me.
Right.
Where Lawrence is kind of coming more from a place of, I'm not gonna be broken if people don't like me. Right. If I'm not the greatest to ever play the game. It might be a little bit of a stretch, but I think there's a correlation there.
I see it. I like that.
We are running out of time, though.
Yeah.
If we have, I do not have a sample. To be honest, I fucked up this week.
I got a sample.
I got one, and I'm coming back with the best
better than last
of
time.
2021.
Last week kind of don't count. We had to give it up for X a little bit.
That's true. I enjoyed our samples last week. But before we get these samples started, you already know if you're on the YouTube, we appreciate you watching. We'll be back next week with episode 97.
Yup.
So share the YouTube, like, subscribe, all that other shit that YouTubers tell you to do. Do that. And we'll be back next week.
Peace.
If you're on the audio, these samples are coming.
No doubt.